Started. Okay, hi guys. A very good afternoon. In the previous class, we have started the discussion about outstanding expenses we have completed and prepaid expenses we have completed. So, and then we have discussed the capital account, we have discussed the debtor account, creditor account. So, one by one we are discussing. So, what is the meaning of outstanding expenses? The expenses related to current year, but we have paid or we have not paid, Amma. We have not paid during the current year. So this is called as outstanding expenses. So what are the two outcomes for the outstanding expenses? Expenses and outstanding expenses. So here the expenses is a nominal account because it is an expenses, and outstanding expenses is called as representative personal account because instead of all the employees we are creating what outstanding salaries. So salary expenses, debit balance increases debit, outstanding salary liability, credit balance increases credit. So what is the entry? Salary account debited to outstanding salaries. When come to the common expenses, when come to the common outstanding expenses entry, what is the common outstanding expenses entry? Expenses account debited to outstanding expenses account. So if you observe the scenario of accrual basis, what is the meaning of accrual basis, Amma? We need to consider the current year transactions. We should not consider the next year or previous year transactions. So outstanding expenses means related to current year, related to next year, related to current year. We need to consider. We need to consider. But as per cash basis, we should not consider because there is no involvement of cash. Next, then after we have discussed about prepaid expenses. What is the meaning of prepaid expenses? Expenses related to next year, but we have paid during the current year. It is called as prepaid expenses. So here, if you observe the cash basis, we will consider because it is related to cash transaction, but not related to current year. Even though it is not related to current year, we will consider in the cash basis. But as per accrual basis, we should not consider because it is not related to current year. So what are the two outcomes for the prepaid expenses, ma? Prepaid expenses and the cash. We need to bifurcate the expenses and prepaid expenses. If you rate the expenses, that particular expenditure belongs to current year. So instead of differentiate the current year expenses and the next year expenses, we need to put the word called as what, ma? Prepaid in front of the expenses. So what is the entry? Prepaid expenses account debited to cash or bank account because the cash balance will be decreases. So cash asset debit balance decreases credit. Then after prepaid expenses asset debit balance increases debit. So we have discussed all the things. Is there any doubts up to here? So we know the debtor account and we know the creditor account and we know the asset account and we know the capital account also. We already discussed all the these all the things will be helpful for the upcoming chapters. So next, in today's class we are going to discuss about what is the concept, ma? Income receivable. So next put the heading called as income receivable. What is the meaning of income receivable? Can anyone in the class? So income receivable means income related to current year, but we have not received during the current year. So please write that one. Income related to current year, but we have not received during the current year. That means, in which basis we will consider this one? In the accrual basis we will consider, but in the cash basis we should not consider. Because why ma? As per accrual basis, even though we have not received but it is related to current year, we will consider. As per cash basis, there is no involvement of cash. For that reason we should not consider. So what is the meaning of this one, sir? Whether it is an asset or liability, it is an asset. It is an asset. I will say one of the example, no problem. Imagine, so we are having a fixed deposit in HDFC Bank. Where we are having the fixed deposit ma? Imagine we are the business and we have made the fixed deposit. We have made the fixed deposit of rupees 1 crore. How much amount we have made the fixed deposit ma? 1 crore. On this fixed deposit, we are going to receive the interest. Yes or no ma? We are going to receive interest. We are going to receive the interest on quarterly basis. On which basis ma? Quarterly. What is the meaning of quarterly? So we need to receive interest from the fixed deposit. Okay na? How we are going to receive a quarterly basis? Imagine how many months in a year? 12 months in a year. Quarter means 3 months. Quarter means how many months ma? 3 months. So that means how many quarters will be there? We are having 4 quarters in a particular year. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4. So on that 1 crore, we are going to receive 10% interest. How much interest amma? 10%. So 1 crore means how many zeros? 7 zeros. So okay, take 1 crore on your calculator and what is the 10%? Do 10%. How we can do the percentage ma? So 1 crore into 10 divided by 100. That is equal to how much amma? 12 lakhs rupees. Sorry, 10 lakh rupees. 10 lakh rupees. Okay na. This 10 lakh is per annum per quarter? Per annum. Okay na. This percentage is per annum. Okay na. Divided 10 lakhs into the 4 parts. How much we will get ma? How we can divide 10 lakhs divided by 4? That is equal to how much ma? 12 lakhs, sorry, 10 lakhs divided by 4, how much? 2,50,000 and 2,50,000 every quarter we need to receive. But here what here going on ma? Quarter 1 interest will be received in quarter 2. Quarter 2 interest will be received in quarter 3. And quarter 3 interest in quarter 4 and quarter 4 interest in next year. Okay nama? Then we will receive the quarter 4 interest next year. So that means even though we have received in the quarter 2, but we have received in the current era, we are going to receive in the next era. We are receiving in the current year itself. Even though quarter 1 interest we are going to receive in the quarter 2 also, but we are receiving in the current era, next era. We are receiving in the current year. That means in the current year, totally how much interest we are going to receive ma? 2,50,000 into 3 or 4? Into 3. Okay now, quarter 4 interest we are going to receive in next year. Okay now, I am asking how much interest we are received in the current year. We have received only 2,50,000 into 3. That is equal to how much amma? 7,50,000 we have received during the current year. But 2,50,000 we are going to receive in the next year. Okay na? So this 7,50,000 is called as interest received or interest receivable? Interest received. But what is the balance amount? The balance 2,50,000 is called as income receivable, nothing but interest receivable. What is the meaning of 7,50,000? Interest received. Are you getting the point? Okay, now totally what is the amount of interest during the current year, ma? We need to receive 12 lakhs, sorry, 10 lakhs. We need to receive how much, ma? 10 lakhs. But we have received only during the current year how much? 7,50,000. The balance of 2,50,000 we are going to receive in the current year, in the next year, in the next year. Are you getting the point? Quarter 1 in quarter 2 interest will be in quarter 3 interest in quarter 4, but quarter 4 interest will be received in next year. So for quarter 1 how much? 2,50,000. For quarter 2 how much? 2,50,000. 3 2,50,000. 4 also 2,50,000. But quarter 1 interest, quarter 2 interest, and quarter 3 interest we are going to receive in the current year. We are going to receive in the current year. But quarter 4 interest we are going to receive in the next year. For that reason, 7,50,000 is called as interest received, and 2,50,000 is called as interest receivable. Interest receivable. What is the entry for the 7,50,000? What is the entry for the 7,50,000? Interest received. That means bank account debited to interest account. Bank account debited to interest account. So what are the two outcomes here? Bank and interest. Bank asset debit balance increases debit. Interest income credit balance increases credit. So what is the entry for the interest received? Bank account debited to interest received or receivable, amma? Received. This is the entry for how much, amma? 7,50,000 or 10 lakhs? 7,50,000. Are you getting the point? Okay, na? 7,50,000 we have received or we have not received? We have received during the current year. But 2,50,000 we are receiving or we are not receiving? We are not receiving. So we are not, so that this interest receivable is called as asset or liability? Asset. Asset which balance, amma? Debit balance. Increases or decreases? Increases. So what we need to do? Debit. In the credit side, what we need to write? Interest. The credit side, what we need to write, ma? Interest. So what is the entry for the interest receivable? Interest receivable account debited to interest receivable. This is an asset. Which balance, amma? Debit balance increases debit to interest account. How much, amma? 2,50,000 and 2,50,000. Are you getting the point? Is there any doubts? In the current year, how much amount of interest we have received? 7,50,000. In the next year, how much amount we are going to receive? 2,50,000. What is the entry for the 7,50,000? Bank account debited to interest received account. What is the entry for the 2,50,000? Interest receivable account debited to interest account. Okay, na? So this is how we need to complete the. We have completed which one, ma? Income receivable. What is the general entry? In general perception. In general, income receivable. What is the income receivable entry, sir? In the place of interest, please keep the income. What is the entry? Income receivable account debited to income account. Income receivable account debited to income account. What is the outstanding expenses entry? Expenses account debited to outstanding expenses. Debtor. We should not call the debtor. We should call it as debited. Okay, na? Again, shall I say your name? Okay. Is there any doubts up to here? Okay, na? So what is the normal entry for the income receivable, ma? Income receivable account debited to income account. This is the normal entry for the income receivable. Is there any doubts? Next, we need to discuss what? Income received in advance. Income received in advance. So till now we have completed the outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, and income receivable. Outstanding expenses is a liability. Okay, na? Prepaid expenses is an asset. Next one, income received in advance. Income receivable is called asset. Next, we are going to discuss about income received in advance. What is the meaning of this one, sir? Asset or liability? Why? Obligation to pay na. Obligation to do work. Hey man, what did you eat today? You are saying correct answers. Okay. What is the meaning, sir? First we need to write the meaning. What is the meaning of this one? Income related to next year, but we have received during the current year. So, income related to next year, comma, but we have received during the current year. Okay, na guys. So, can we take one example? Are you ready? Where is the participation, man? Are you there in the class? Then participate. Are you ready or not? Yes, sir. So, what is the example, sir? Okay, na? You know already. We are going to start one education institute. Okay, na? Which institute, ma? What we need to put? Shikara, na? No. We should not put here the Shikara. Why means you will understand. Okay, we are going to start cinema is there. Even though it is cinema. Okay, imagine we are going to start cinema. We are not starting the cinema. We are starting the education institute. Okay, na? The education institute related to CMA. Related to what, ma? CMA. We know in the CMA how many levels will be there? 3 levels, sir. Okay. What is the first level? Foundation or final? Oh, super. First level is called as foundation, or we can have the CMA cat. Do you know the CMA cat? Okay, we can discuss some other time. And what is the second level, ma? Inter. CMA, inter. What is the third level? Final. Okay, na. So, but what? Imagine this is a first year. This is first year. This is a second year. This is third year. Okay, na? But we are going to collect the fee in the foundation itself. You know, the total fee related to inter and related to final, we are going to collect in the at which level? In the foundation itself. So totally we are going to charge. How much we should charge? Totally 3 lakhs we are collecting. How much amount we are going to collect? 3 lakhs is the education fee we are collecting from the students. So even though we collected 3 lakhs from the students, in the which level, ma? Foundation level itself. That means in the first year itself. Okay, na? But 1 lakh belongs to foundation, 1 lakh belongs to inter, and 1 lakh belongs to final. Okay, na? But we are going to receive total amount in the first year or second year. We are going to receive total amount in the first year itself. Okay, na? That means in this 3 lakhs, in this total 3 lakhs, 1 lakh belongs to current year, remaining 2 lakh belongs to next year and then next year. Okay, na? That means in this 3 lakhs, we are going to divide into how many parts, ma? 2 parts. Just 2 parts. 1 lakh and balance 2 lakhs. 1 lakh is called as 1 lakh is called as 1 lakh related to current year, next year. 1 lakh related to current year and 2 lakhs related to next upcoming years. Okay na? Next upcoming years. Okay na? Please listen, man. Okay. So that this is related to current year na. So that what we need to call this 1 lakh is called as income received. This 1 lakh is called as income received. What is the meaning of this one? Income received in income related to upcoming years or current year? Upcoming years. What is the meaning of this one? Income received in advance. Received in advance. Okay na? So this is an asset or liability? Liability. What is the liability here, sir? We need to provide the service. We need to provide the service. Without providing the service, but we have collected the amount from the students. So this, for that reason, this income received in advance is called as asset or liability? Liability. Okay na, guys? So is there any doubt? What is the entry for the income received? What is the entry for the income received? Cash or bank account debited to interest received. Fee received account. Cash or bank account debited to fee received account. What is the entry for the income received in advance? We have received or we have not received? We have received. That means in the debit, what we need to put ma? Cash or bank account debited to fee received or fee received in advance? What we need to write? Received or received in advance? Received in advance. So fee received in advance account. Fee received in advance account. This is the entry. Are you getting? If you write the fee received, we cannot differentiate. So in order to differentiate the current year and next year, what we need to do? We need to give the separate sentence called as fee received in advance. So this is how we need to write the entry for related to what ma? Income received in advance. What is the income received in advance entry? Over. Cash or bank account debited to income received in advance. So this is the entry, normal entry for the income received in advance. Are you getting the point? So this is how we have completed the total discussion about the 4 types. What are the 4 types? Outstanding, prepaid, receivable and received in advance. Outstanding is a liability, prepaid is an asset, receivable is an asset, and then received in advance is called as liability. What is the entry for the outstanding expenses? Expenses account debited to outstanding expenses account. What is the entry for the prepaid expenses? Prepaid expenses account debited to cash or bank account. What is the entry for the income receivable? Income receivable account debited to income account. What is the entry for the income received in advance? Cash or bank account debited to income received in advance account. Here, he is an example, man. Oh. Now, next we need to discuss the which accounts are income account and expenses account. So please be very concentrated. These are 2 types accounts are some of the difference. Okay, now there will be a different when compared to the previous accounts. What are the previous accounts? Asset account. Next we have discussed the capital account. We have discussed the debtor account. We have discussed the creditor account. But these 2 types of accounts will play the major role. But different will be there. Okay, na? What would go? Are you getting the point? Okay, these 2 types are different, same similar to those difference. There will be a difference. Okay, na, guys? First, we are going to discuss detailed discussion about the expenses and then detailed discussion about the incomes. Okay, na? Okay, first, put the heading called as expenses. In these expenses, I am going to divide it into the three parts. Okay, na? Can anyone can say how many types of expenses are there? Three types. Expenses paid. What ma? Expenses paid and outstanding expenses. And third one is called as prepaid expenses. Okay, now these are the three types we are going to see. Here, outstanding expenses is called as asset or liability. Liability. Prepaid expenses is called as asset. Liability is having what ma? Opening balance and closing balance. And asset is also having what? Opening balance and closing balance. These three types we are going to show only one account. Okay, na? Expenses paid, and then what ma? Outstanding expenses, and then prepaid expenses. These all the things will be presented only in one account, a difference account. Only one account, but we'll show in a different manner. We'll show in a different manner. Okay, na? Outstanding expenses will have the opening balance and will have the closing balance. And in the same way, prepaid expenses will have the opening balance and will have the closing balance. Okay, na? So for liability, opening balance will be on which side? Credit side. So what we need to write? By balance brought down. So closing balance, to balance carried on. Okay, na? Okay. Next, prepaid expenses will have the opening balance and closing balance. Asset liability, asset. Asset means which balance? Debit balance. For the debit balance, opening balance will be on the debit side. So we need to write to balance brought down and by balance carried on. Okay, why you are writing like that, sir? Okay, now you will understand. Please wait up to the completion of expenses account. Okay. Sir, what is the meaning of opening balance related to current year balance or previous year closing balance? Current year opening balance means this balance we have taken from the previous year. This balance we have taken from the previous year. That means, can I write like this? This balance related to current year, previous year. Sorry, this balance related to previous year. Wait, man, please. Otherwise, you come here and teach. Sir, opening balance means, what is the meaning of opening balance? We have taken this balance from the previous year. Previous year closing balance will be the current year opening balance. That means this amount belongs to previous year, current year. This outstanding expenses belongs to previous year. Okay, now because this is a opening balance or closing balance. This is a opening balance. Okay, now where we have brought the opening balance? From the previous year closing balance, we have brought the current year opening balance. Are you understanding the point or not? Previous year closing balance is equal to the current year opening balance. Okay, even though we are going to record in the current year opening balance, but that particular outstanding amount belongs to previous year, current year belongs to previous year. Why I am saying the previous year? Because this balance we have taken where ma? We have taken from the previous year closing balance. We are brought to the current year opening balance. Are you getting the point? అర్థమైందా అర్థం కాలేదా? మనం ఎక్కడి నుంచి తెచ్చుకున్నాం? మా ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ క్లోజింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్నే కరెంట్ ఇయర్ ఓపెనింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్గా రికార్డ్ చేసాం. సో కాబట్టి ఈ పర్టికులర్ అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ అనేది ఏ ఇయర్ది? రిలేటెడ్ టు ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్. సార్ టూ బ్యాలెన్స్ క్యారీడ్ ఆన్ అంటే నథింగ్ బట్ ఓపెనింగ్ బ్యాలెన్సా క్లోజింగ్ బ్యాలెన్సా? కరెంట్ ఇయర్ క్లోజింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్. సో దట్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు విచ్ ఇయర్? కరెంట్ ఇయర్. రిలేటెడ్ టు విచ్ ఇయర్ మా? కరెంట్ ఇయర్. ఆర్ గెటింగ్ ద పాయింట్? ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్, టూ బ్యాలెన్స్ బ్రాట్ డౌన్. Okay, na? To balance brought down. Prepaid expenses to balance brought down. That nothing but what ma? Opening balance or closing balance? Opening balance of current year we have taken from where? Closing balance of previous year. What is the meaning of prepaid expenses ma? Expenses related to current year, related to next year. expenses related to next year we have received during the current year. But to balance brought down means what ma? Previous year closing balance. That means what ma? This prepaid expenses we have received in previous year. We have received in current year. We have received in previous year. అర్థమవుతుందా? We have received in previous year. That means what ma? The this prepaid expenses. Which prepaid expenses ma? This prepaid expenses we have received during the previous year. Received during the but related to current year. But related to current year, even though we have received this opening prepaid expenses during the previous year, but related to which year ma? Current year. So that can I write like this? Can I write current year? So what is the meaning of buy balance brought down? Opening balance or closing balance? Closing balance. That means what ma? This particular prepaid expenses we have received during the current year, but related to next year. So what we need to write here? NY. NY means next year, CY means current year, PY means previous year. Are you getting the point? Okay. If you think from the outstanding expenses point of view, what is the meaning of outstanding expenses? Expenses related to current year, but we have not paid. What is the meaning of prepaid expenses? Expenses related to next year, but we have paid in the current year. For that reason, outstanding point of view, opening balance means that particular outstanding expenses related to previous year. Outstanding expenses closing balance means that particular outstanding expenses related to current year. When we think from the point of view of prepaid expenses opening balance means what ma? That prepaid expenses we have paid in the previous year, even though we have paid in the previous year, but related to current year. For that reason, we are writing the current year. What is the meaning of closing balance of prepaid expenses? That particular prepaid expenses we have paid during the current year, but related to next year. Are you getting the point? So, even though if you don't understand this concept also, we can write easily, no problem. Okay, now what we need to prepare? We need to prepare the expenses account or expenditure account. Which account we need to prepare ma? Expenditure account. Left hand side is called as debit record and right hand side is called as credit. What is the entry for the expenses paid? Expenses account debited to cash or bank account. I think, do you know na? Okay. For this expenses account, for this expenditure whole account, overall expenditure account, expenditure means which type of account? Nominal account. Expenditure means which type of account? Nominal account. For the nominal accounts, please remember, for the nominal account, we are not going to have any opening balance and we are not going to have any closing balance. Why, sir? Because as a whole account, I am saying, not I am saying from the outstanding expenses, not I am saying about the prepaid expense. I am saying the overall. Okay now, by adding overall expenses, okay now, by adding which expenses ma? Overall expenses, we are not going to have any opening balance and we are not going to have any closing balance. Why, sir? Because the closing balance of overall expenses will be transferred to which account? P&L account. Be transferred to which account ma? P&L accounts. Normally what we need to write ma? Debit balance means how it will be presented. Just a second. Normally debit balance means how it will be presented ma? To balance brought down. And what we need to write ma? By balance carried on. Instead of writing by balance carried on, we need to transfer this amount to which account? P&L account. Which account ma? P&L account. We should not write. If you write the balance carried on, then only what we will get ma? Brought down. We are writing the carried on. We are not writing the carried on. In the place of carried on, what we are putting? P&L account. What we are going to put ma? P&L account. If you put the P&L account, brought down will be come into the picture. Brought down will not come into the picture. Are you getting the point? Sir, because what is the reason here? The closing balance of expenses and the closing balance of income, overall expenditure and overall income, we are going to transfer to which account? P&L account. But that means we should not write what ma? Carried on. Instead of carried on, the place of carried on, we will put the word called as what ma? P&L account. If you write the P&L account, brought down will come into the picture, will not be coming to the picture. Will not be coming to the picture. So for the debit balance, it will be there, will not be there. Will not. Only we are having only what ma? instead of by balance carried on, we are directly putting the P&L account. So for that reason, overall expenditure account is going to have the opening balance, is not having the opening balance. We should not have the opening balance, but we are having the closing balance, but we need to transfer to P&L account. So we need to write two balance brought down now. We should not write the two balance brought down, but what we need to write, sir? By P&L account. Are you getting the point? Okay, we are not going to write two balance brought down. Why, ma? We are writing by balance brought down, carried on. No, we are not writing by balance carried on, so that we should not write two balance brought down. Are you getting the point? Instead of writing by balance carried on, what we are going to write? P&L account, which account, ma? P&L account. Are you getting the point or not? Okay, na? Okay. Next, decision, which balance, ma? Debit balance or credit balance? Debit balance. So in order to increase the expenditure, which side we need to record? Increases means debit side, decreases means credit side. Okay, na? We need to follow the accrual basis. We need to follow what, ma? Accrual basis. Accrual basis means what, ma? Related to current year means we will consider. Not related to current year means we are not going to consider. Are you getting the point? Consider means increasing the expenses. Consider means what, ma? Increasing the expenses. Not consider means what, ma? Decreasing the expenses. Consider means increases. Okay, not consider means what, ma? Decreases. Are you getting the point? Okay. Now, first, expenses paid. In the place of expenses paid, what is the entry we have recorded? Expenses account debited to cash account. Which account we are going to prepare? Expenses account. So in the expenses account, what we need to put? So we need to record on which side, ma? Debit side or credit side? Debit side. So what we need to write here? To cash or bank account completed. Next, come to the outstanding expenses. What are in the outstanding expenses? If you observe the scenario, previous year and current year. Okay, na? Previous year means we should consider or we should not consider. Previous year means we should not consider. We are following which approach, ma? Which basis? Accrual basis. So previous year means we should not consider. We should not consider means expenses increases or decreases? Decreases. So can I write on the debit side or on the credit side? On the credit side. So what we need to write, sir? By outstanding expenses related to previous year. Related to which year, ma? Previous year. Are you getting the point? Or otherwise what you can write? So previous year means this is a opening balance or closing balance? Opening balance. We can write like this easily instead of this one. What is the opening balance, ma? Outstanding means asset or liability? Liability. Liability opening balance. What is the opening balance? By balance brought down. What is the closing balance? To balance carried on. To balance carried on, by balance brought down. If I write like this, you may get confused. You may get what, ma? Confused. Are you getting the point or not? Okay, na? If I write like this, you will get what, ma? Confusion. For that reason, now I am not writing the balance brought down and balance carried on. Instead of that, what we are writing, ma? Outstanding expenses related to previous year. Okay, na? Okay. Outstanding expenses related to current year, we should consider or we should not consider? We should consider, because related to current year, related to next year? Current year. That means what we need to write, ma? Outstanding expenses related to current year. Consider means increases, not consider means decreases. The next one. When come to the prepaid point of view, when come to the which point of view, ma? Prepaid. Prepaid point of view, opening balance means belongs to current year, belongs to next year? Opening balance means that particular opening balance is equal to the closing balance of previous year. That means that prepaid expenses we have paid during the previous year or last year belongs to current year. So belongs to current year means we need to consider, we should not consider? We should consider. That means we should consider means increase or decrease? Increase. So what we need to write? To prepaid of which year, ma? Current year. So current year means increase, next year or previous year means decrease. Now what we need to write? Buy prepaid of current year next year amma. Next year. This is how we need to write the account. Which account ma? Expenses account. So in order to, for understanding purpose, we can write like this. Okay, now for remembering purpose, how we can remember? Uh, consider not, consider not. We can remember the opening balance, closing balance like that. We can remember what ma? Opening balance and closing balance like that. Or otherwise, if you understand the concept means easily, how we can remember ma? We are having the opening balance, we are not going to have the opening balance. We are not going to have the opening balance because it is a nominal account. Because it is a nominal account. For the nominal accounts, closing balance will be there. But we need to transfer to which account? P&L account. For that reason, what we are writing? By P&L. Why we need to write by P&L ma? It is a debit balance, it is a credit balance. It is a debit balance. Debit balance normally what we need to write? To balance brought down, by balance carried on. But to balance brought down will be there or will not be there? Will not be there. Because why ma? We are not recording by balance carried on. Instead of by balance carried on, what we are putting? By P&L account. So for that reason, we are not going to have the two opening balance. Okay, now two balance brought down will not come into the picture. Are you getting the point? Next and after, we are having the three items: expenses paid, outstanding expenses, prepaid expense. What is the entry for the expenses paid? Expenses account debited to cash account. For that reason, I am recording to cash or bank. Next, when come to the outstanding expenses will have the opening balance and the closing balance. But opening balance of outstanding expenses related to previous year, so that we should not consider. We should not consider means increase or decrease? Decrease. For that reason, what we are recording? By outstanding expenses of previous year. And current year outstanding expenses we should consider or we should not consider? We should consider. For that reason, what we are doing? Two outstanding expenses current year. Next one. When come to the prepaid, we are having what ma? Opening balance, closing balance. What is the meaning of prepaid opening balance? Belongs to previous year. Even though belongs to previous year, what is the meaning of prepaid expenses? Paid during the previous year. Okay na? Previous year prepaid means what ma? Paid during the previous year but related to current year. It is related to current year. For that reason, we are recording on the debit side. Related to next year. For that reason, we are recording on the credit side. Are you getting the point? So this is how we are completing which account? Expenses account. Okay now, if you understand, you can remember this one. Or otherwise, current year means add, next year or previous year means less. Are you getting the point? Add means increases, less means decreases. Increases means debit side, decreases means credit side. This is a somewhat different approach when compared to the previous accounts. Previous accounts are called as what ma? One is an asset, another one is a liability. Okay, now easily we can write the opening balances, closing balances, because assets and liabilities will be transferred to balance sheet or account? Balance sheet. But here we are transferring the nominal accounts to another account called as P&L account. Okay, another account called as what ma? P&L. So we are transferring one account to another account means, okay, now we are not going to have the balances. We need to transfer. Instead of closing balance, we need to put the word called as either P&L account or trading account. For the direct expenses, we will put the trading account. For the indirect expenses, we will put the P&L account. So if you put the P&L account means opening balance will come into the picture or will not come into the business? Will not come into the picture. Are you getting the point? Is there any doubts? Current year means increase, next year means decrease. Okay, now increase means debit side, decrease means credit side, because expenses is having which balance? Debit balance. But here you need to understand which is related to current year and which is related to next year. Opening balance of the outstanding expenses related to current year or next year amma? Previous year. Related to previous year. Closing balance of outstanding expenses related to current year. Prepaid expenses opening balance related to current year. Closing balance related to next year. Okay, now current year means we will increase and record on the debit side. Next year or previous year means this is going to decrease. So we need to record on the credit side. So this is how we need to apply the which account? Expenses account. Are you getting the point? Okay. If you take, I will teach you the income account. At that point of time, you will get some clarity, more clarity. If we are teaching what ma? Income account. So please take the expenses account. Completed, huh? Babu Udbo, what are you doing? Next income account. You only should say. And what is the information going on there? Degree exams, sir. Write only degree exams. Don't come to class from tomorrow onwards. Okay, na? Become first year, second year. First year. If you understand this concept, then only you can write the degree exams. Otherwise, degree exams is also waste. You can give somebody. అయ్యో తాగిరా అవి ఉంటాయి నీకు అన్ని సప్లీలే నాకు తెలుసు 253 ఎలా వచ్చినాయిరా నీకు అసలు ముందల ఎవరు అర్థం కదా రోల్ నెంబర్ వేస్తే వచ్చేస్తా సరే అయితే ఇంటర్లో కూడా రోల్ నెంబర్ వేసిరా హౌ మచ్ టైమ్ విల్ టేక్ మ్యాన్ యూ కమింగ్ టు ద ఫస్ట్ బెంచ్ యూ టాక్ లైక్ దట్ ఐ విల్ త్రో దిస్ బాటిల్ విచ్ వన్ NPO na NPO single entry for all the things it will be useful. If you don't know this one, 14 plus 5 marks, total 20 marks gone. Okay, next put the heading income account. After completion of this class, I will say. So next, in the income also, how many categories we are going to have? 3 categories. What are they? Income paid, Income received, income receivable, income received in advance. Okay, what is the entry for the income received, amma? Cash or bank account debited to income account. Okay, na? He's thinking. Next, then after. For income receivable, we are having what, ma? Opening balance and closing balance. Okay. Income receivable means asset or liability, amma. Asset opening balance means to balance brought down by balance carried on. And income received in advance. Asset or liability? Liability. Okay, cool. By balance brought down to balance carried on. Okay, completed. Now we need to decide whether which one is belongs to current year, which one is belongs to next year, or which one is belongs to previous year. Okay, now Udbo will answer. Now Udbo, come on. Okay, that is current year only. All of you. Income receivable opening balance means what, ma? That one belongs to previous year or belongs to current era? Belongs to previous year. What is the meaning of this opening balance? This income receivable happened in the previous year itself. Happened in the previous year. So it is belongs to which year? Previous year. What is the meaning of closing balance? This income receivable belongs to current year. Current year means increases or decreases? Increases. Previous year or next year means decreases. Okay. Next, income received in advance. Opening balance means what, ma? This income we have received during the previous year, but related to current year. So this one related to current year, and this one related to next year. What is the meaning of this one? Income received during the current year, but related to next year. Super. If the Udbo understand the concept means overall India will be overall world will be understand. Yes or no, man? Okay. Now Udbo will answer the account, will prepare the account. Udbo will try to prepare the account, man. Yes, sir. You will close the book. So which account, ma? Come account. We are having the debit record and we are having the credit record. Now, to profit and loss account. Why? Credit account. Okay, credit balance. To balance carried on. Won't be. Why? Over. Because this is okay. Give me a chance. Here this is a nominal account. We are not going to have the opening balance. Only the closing balance will be transferred to which account? P&L account. So which balance am this one? Credit balance. Opening balance will be on which side? Credit side. And closing balance will be on which side? Debit side. So in the place of this one, what we need to write? To P&L account. Okay, completed. Next. Income received. What is the entry for the income received? Cash or bank account debited to income account. Income account. Okay. Which side we need to record? Okay. By cash or bank account. Okay. Here this is a credit balance. So that if it is increases means credit side, decreases means debit side. Yes or no, ma? Yes. Next. When come to the income receivable point of view, previous year means increase or decrease? Decrease. Which side we need to record? Debit side. Okay. What we need to record, ma? By income. Okay, okay. I am testing whether you are in concentrating or not. Okay. To come 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 receivable for which year? Previous year or current year? Previous year. Superman. Next. By come receivable current year. Current year. Next one. Come in advance. Current year means okay. What we need to write here? By come by income received in advance. Which year ma? Related to current year. Related to current year means which balance? Opening balance or closing balance? Related to current year means opening balance or closing balance amma? Opening balance. So that means this is a opening balance. Here this is called as receivable for the previous year means this is called as what ma? Opening. This is a closing. And again what we need to write ma? To income receivable received in advance. Which year ma? Previous year. That means what? Sorry, next year. Opening or closing? Closing. Did you get the point? Income receivable for previous year or current year amma? Income receivable for the previous year means we need to reduce. Income receivable for the current year means we need to add. Next, income received in advance. During the previous year means current year. During the current year means next year. Then you can write like this here. Or we can write ma? Income received in advance during the current year. Here what we can write ma? Income received in advance during the previous year. Income received in advance during the previous year means it is related to current year. Now this is a easy process. Or writing to balance brought down by balance carried on is a easy process. To balance brought down by balance carried on only easy. Why ma? Remembering these points is a toughest concept. So easily we can write what ma? To balance brought down by balance carried on. Because income receivable is an asset or liability? Asset. For asset, opening balance will be on the debit side. We can write easily what? To balance brought down. Closing balance will be on the credit side. We can write easily what ma? By balance brought. Next, advance. When come to the advance, opening balance. By balance brought down, to balance carried on. Completed, easy. But you will get confused. You will get as per concept point of view, you will get the confused. As per remembering point of view, which one is the easy? To balance brought down, by balance carried on only easy. In order to understand the concept, I have designed this one. Okay now. So now what you need to do here, under this one, you can write like this. You are having the space. You are having the space or not having the space? No na? Okay. But even though you are not having the space, you need to write. That's all. Okay. By outstanding expenses of previous year means outstanding expenses opening balance will be on the debit side or credit side? Outstanding expenses ma asset or liability? Liability. That means here what we can write? What is the opening balance? By balance brought down. Here what we can write ma? To balance carried on. When come to the outstanding, that means prepaid means to balance brought down. We can write what ma? By balance carried on. So please remember the concept. But here you need to mug up. For remembering the account, you need to mug up. For understanding the concept, not need. So if you understand the concept, it is difficult task for writing in the examination. So for that purpose, I am discussing the accounts. That's all. You know. So after going to the home, please sit in a careful manner and understand the concept once again. Are you getting the point? I think so. Outstanding opening balance means related to current era, previous era. Outstanding opening balance, man. Previous year. Outstanding closing balance means current year. Prepaid opening balance means current year. Okay, now closing balance means next year. Next year or previous year means decreases. Current year means increases. Okay. So now we have completed all the things. So what is the time now? So till now we have discussed all the accounts. What are all the accounts we have discussed? Debtor account, creditor account, capital account, asset account, expenses account, and incomes account. Okay, now you may have little bit confusion in income and expenses. So please refer once again. If you are having doubt means I will refer you once again. Okay, now. So next concept is called as just a second. So here if you see the index, we have completed the accounting basics. What we have completed, ma? Accounting basics, nothing but terminologies we have completed. Okay, now. So in the terminologies, business, owner, proprietor, drawings, capital, these are all the things, types of assets, types of liabilities, what is the meaning of transaction, accounting definition, events, next to types of discounts, all this we have completed. Next to income, expenses, profit, loss. Okay, next we need to see the double entry system, and then we are not going to see the accounting principles. These accounting principles we can discuss in at last. After completion of syllabus we can discuss the accounting principles. Okay, now next we have to start the journal, ledger and subsidiary. So now I will discuss which chapter. Double entry system. You know what is the meaning of double entry system? We need to record the debit asset and we need to record the credit asset. So here we need to maintain how many accounts? Personal account, real account and nominal account. In the single entry only one account will be maintained. Which account? Personal account. They will record either debit asset or credit asset. Okay, now. So next, what is the page number here? So double entry system. Before that, there is a small concept called as bookkeeping and accounting. So you know the accounting definition. What is the accounting definition, ma? Recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, interpretation. Okay, na? So here bookkeeping means both journal and ledger is called as bookkeeping. Why, ma? Journal is called as a journal day book. Journal is also called as what, ma? Day book. Ledger is also a book. This two is called as books. After that, trial balance. Next one, what, ma? Final accounts. Okay, na? These two are called as statements. Okay, now final accounts is a statement. Trial balance is also a statement. But when come to the journal and ledger point of view, those two are called as what, ma? Statements are books. Books. For that reason, both the journal and ledger is called as bookkeeping. So what is the meaning of bookkeeping, amma? Journal and ledger. After journal and ledger, what is the meaning? Trial balance. Next, financial statement. FA. FA means what, ma? Final accounts. These two is called as what, ma? Accounting. Okay, now. So this is the overall information about the bookkeeping and the accounting. It is a process of recording the transactions and events. It is a process of summarizing the transaction. Summarizing means what, ma? Trial balance. Summarizing means what, ma? Trial balance. It will give the summary for the total year. The trial balance, the total year payment of salaries will be there. Total rent payment will be there. Per year, per annum, per month, per year. Per month information will be available in the ledgers. Day information will be available in the journal. Okay, na? Next, it is a base for the accounting. First, we need to prepare the journal, ledger, then only we can prepare the accounting. Yes or no, ma? It is considered as a language of business. So financial statements does not forming part of this process. Yes or no, ma? Financial statements will be prepared on the basis of bookkeeping records. Next, management decisions we can take. We cannot take the management decision only with the help of journal and ledger. We can take the management decisions based on the records. Which record, ma? Final accounts will be prepared. We are getting a profits means we can continue the business. If we are getting a losses means we need to this all the businesses. This type of decisions we can take only with the help of financial statements. Financial statements will be available in which base? Will be available in accounting, will be available in bookkeeping. Financial statement is nothing but final accounts. Financial statement is nothing but final accounts. This final accounts we are going to prepare in the accounting, in the bookkeeping, in the accounting. So decision making can be taken only on the base of accounting, on the base of bookkeeping, on the base of accounting. There is no subfields in the bookkeeping. There are several subfields like what, ma? Financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting in the accounts. Accounting, there are from the financial accounting we will identify the profit or loss from the business. From the cost accounting we can identify how much amount we need to fix, how much cost we need to fix a particular product. We can identify in this cost account. So cost account will be discussed by particular faculty. Next, what is the meaning of management accounting? We are having the surplus funds. We are having what, ma? Surplus funds. How to invest these surplus funds will be discussed by whom, ma? Management accounting. What is the meaning of management accounting? How to invest, where to invest. If we have invested in the bank account means we will get certain amount of return. If we are going to invest some other business means we are going to get the some certain amount of return. So how to make the investments will be dealt by the management accounting. How to fix the cost will be dealt by the cost accounting. How to identify the profit or loss of a business will be dealt by the financial accounting. Next, financial position. What is the meaning of position, ma? Solvent position. Solvency and in okay. The position we can identify from the bookkeeping, accounting. Balance sheet. Balance sheet where it will be there? Accounting. So financial position can be a, cannot be a, cannot be. Financial positions are ascertained on the basis of accounting records. Nothing but balance sheet. We can identify the financial position. Are you getting the point? This is the main difference between the accounting and the bookkeeping. So they are giving a certain examples. Next, what is the main objectives of the accounting? We have discussed already. What is the main financial result we need to identify? Financial position. So ascertain the result of above recording transaction. Nothing but what, profit and loss. Ascertainment of financial position. So assess the management for the decision making. Based on the final accounts we can take the decision and we can know the solvency position or insolvency position. This is the objective of accounts. And next we are having the functions. What is the meaning of functions are here? We can measure. What is the meaning of measurement, sir? It measures the past performance of the business and shows the current financial position. Next one, what, ma? Forecast. Forecast means what? Forecast means what, ma? Somebody will say, I am having the sixth sense, I am having the seventh sense. I can estimate what is the next step. So this is called as forecast. While playing the chess, what we need to do? We need to forecast the next step. What the another person is doing. Forecast means what, ma? We are going to estimate the future. We are going to estimate. So based on these records, we can estimate the future. Based on these records only, bank will provide you the loans. Okay, now if you want the bank loans means what we need to submit, you need to submit the financial statements, then only you can get the bank loans. Are you getting the point? If you want, you can go and ask to the bank. So after going to the bank, so what you will ask, ma? Sir, can you provide any loan? They will ask you about the income tax returns. They will ask you about the financial statements. Go and prepare the financial statements and come. Then only I will give the what they will give, ma. Then only they will give the loans. provisions they will say. Provisions means what ma? Provisions means estimating the future based on the current year financial information. These all the things will be possible only through the financial accounting or management accounting. Financial accounting. We can take the decision making. We can make the comparison and evaluation. What is the meaning of comparison and evaluation, amma? So all the members will follow the same rules and regulations or different rules and regulations. Same rules and regulations. We are having the gap. We are having what ma? Gap. Generally accepted accounting principles. All the persons will use the same principles while performing what ma? Financial accounting. That means we can compare our business with another business. So same field should be there. Okay na? Same field. For example, Tata Motors can compare with the Kia Motors, like that. Okay na? The field should be the same, business should be the same. I am saying what ma? Same line of business should be there. Same line of business means what ma? Comparing the boot, comparing the shoe shop with the cricket bat. Sports, we should not compare na. Okay na? Comparing what ma? Comparing the same line of businesses we should compare, but they will follow the same rules or different rules. They will follow the same rules while preparing the financial statements, because we are having the what ma? Gap. Generally accepted accounting principles. Next, control. What is the meaning of control, sir? Cost controller. What is the meaning of cost control? Here the control means what? In case we are getting a losses, what we can do ma? Imagine we are doing the business in 4-5 types of varieties of goods. For example, if we take the Reliance industry, okay now what the Reliance industry will do? Reliance is doing the Geo. Reliance is entering into the fresh. Reliance Fresh. Do you know what is the meaning of Reliance Fresh? Vegetables, groceries will be there. Okay na? Okay na? Reliance industry. Imagine they are doing the what ma? Trends. Okay, cloth business of trends. We are having the 3 types of businesses. Okay, after performing the financial statements, we have got to know that what ma? Reliance Fresh is getting a less profits, or Reliance Trends is getting what ma? Losses. In that situation, what we can do? We can control it. We can control means what ma? Cut off. We are going to cut off the Reliance Fresh, and we are going to run only 2 businesses. What are the 2 businesses? Trends and Geo. Okay now that means we can get a more profits or we can get a less profits. We can get a more profits. Why ma? The total investment pulling out from the Reliance Fresh and putting on the Trends and the other businesses, we'll get the more profits or less profits. More profits. So getting a loss business, we need to dissolve, and getting a profit business, we need to increase the investment. This kind of possibilities will be happen because of what ma? Financial accounting. Because of what ma? Financial accounting. What the financial accounting can do? It can measure, forecast, decision making, comparing and evaluation, and control. Just for knowledge, once you refer after getting the book, what you need to do? You need to refer these things. So till now we have completed the whole picture of basics. Okay, guys. Next we are going to see the double entry system. What is the meaning of double entry systems are here? We need to record the 2 assets, debit asset and credit asset. So we are going to maintain the 3 types of accounts. What are the 3 types of accounts? Real account, personal account, and nominal account. So it was in the year of 1494. Who is that? Luca Pacioli, an Italian mathematician, first published his comprehensive treatise on the principles of double entry system. So who is the father of accounting, father of double entry system? Luca Pacioli. Not only the father of double entry system, father of accounting is also a Luca Pacioli. You may get one of the MCQ. You may get. Okay now. These are all the MCQs. You need to concentrate on foundation itself, but we are revising once. That's all. Okay now. Who is the father of accounting? Luca Pacioli. Who is the father of double entry system? Luca Pacioli. What is the concept here? What is the meaning of? Next we are going to discuss the concept of accounts. What is the meaning of concept of account? Account is a summarized record of transaction related to a person or a thing. Person means what ma? Debtor or creditor. Things means what ma? Land, building and equipment. Typically account having which shape ma? T shape. Okay na. Left hand side is called as debit. Right hand side is called as credit. So debit derived from the which word ma? Latin word. Credit is also derived from the Latin word. Okay na. But Luca Pacioli related to which Italian mathematician, but the words are taken from Latin words. What is the meaning of debit? Debit is derived from the word called as debitum, which means what we will receive. Credit is derived from the credari, which credari. So which means what we have to pay. Normal meaning of debit is called as what we have to receive. Normal meaning of credit is called as what we have to pay. So if the debit side exceeding the if the credit side exceeding the debit side means credit balance. If the debit side exceeding the credit side means it is called as debit balance. You know, debit side is more than credit means debit balance. Credit side is more than. Next one, classification of accounts. So totally we are having the mainly two types of accounts: personal accounts, impersonal accounts. What are the personal accounts? Natural personal account, artificial personal account, representative personal account. What are the impersonal accounts? Real account and nominal accounts. You know already these type of things. So natural person means what human beings like Ram, Sita. Udbhav is not a human being. Okay na. So in the place of Udbhav, what is natural person, artificial person? Artificial person, natural person. Okay na. Next, artificial person means what created by law. Anything created by law is called as a artificial person. Companies, banks. Next, representative personal account means capital, drawings, outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses. These are all the things called as what representative personal. We are using one account instead of another account is called as a representative personal account. These are not the name of any person or organization, but they are representing a personal account. Example what capital, drawings, outstanding, prepaid, bills receivable, bills payable. These are all called as what outstanding, representative personal account. And next one, impersonal account means what real account and nominal account. What is the meaning of real account? Accounting which is related to asset is called as a real account. What is the meaning of nominal account? Accounts related to expenses, losses, gains and revenue. Examples what salary paid, interest paid, commission received. So next we are having what okay, just a second. Here we need to rectify. In your book the rectification was already done. Okay na? No problem. We will get the books, no problem. Please wait. Okay na? After completion of class I will show you. Okay na? By Monday we will get. Here in the place of gold and loans, what we need to put accounting approaches. Accounting approach. How many types of accounting approaches are there? 3 types. Traditional approach, modern approach, accounting equation approach. In this we have completely discussed about the modern approach. You know already traditional approach. What is the meaning of traditional approach, sir? In order to understand the traditional approach, we need to learn the golden rules. What is the golden rules? Personal account rule, real account rule, nominal account rule. What is the personal account rule? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. What is the nominal real account rule? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. What is the nominal account rule? Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Next, we know the modern approach. So normally this is how the modern approach will be there. But we have taken one shortcut. What is the shortcut? Dealer. D for drawings, E for expenses, A for assets, L for liabilities, E for equity or capital, R for revenue or incomes. So these 3 items are presented on the debit side, debit balance. Another 3 items are presented on the credit side, credit balance. So normally you need to understand like that. What is this one here? Capital account. Having what having which balance credit balance. If it is increases, what we need to do? Increases means credit, decreases means debit. Normally which balance will be there? Credit balance. This is easy concept. What we have discussed is easy concept. We discussed in easy concept. Next, what is the accounting equation? Asset equal to liability plus equity. This same equation we can write like this. How, sir? Asset equal to liability. Equity means what capital. From the capital what we can do? From the capital Drawings we need to reduce or we need to increase? We need to reduce. So revenue minus expenses means what ma? Profit. Revenue minus expenses means what ma? Profit. What we can do the profit? Add. We can do the add back profit. We can reduce the drawings. Next, interest on capital, add. Interest on drawings, minus. You can write like this also. I will explain in tomorrow class, no problem. Accounting equation. So like that we have completed what ma? Double entry system. So totally we have completed the 2 basic chapters. First one is called as basics. What ma? Chapters over. Is there any doubts in the double entry system? There is no, nothing. Already you know all the things. How many types of accounts are there? 2 types totally. Personal account, impersonal account. You know all the things, no problem. Next, asset plus expenses plus drawings is equal to the liabilities plus capital plus revenue. You need to understand this concept. Accounting equation approach. I will say you, no problem. What is the next one ma? Accounting equation approach. Normally what is the accounting equation ma? Asset equal to equity plus liabilities. Instead of equity we can write what ma? What is the equity formula sir? Equity means nothing but what ma? Capital. So from the capital we need to add back what ma? Net profit. We need to less drawings. As of now only these 3 are there. Okay now imagine always we can, most of times we will get the profit. Only sometimes we will get what ma? Loss. What is the formula for the net profit? Revenue minus expenses, or incomes minus expenses. Okay now this is the formula for the net profit. Okay now are you getting the point? So totally how we can write ma here? Asset equal to capital plus revenue minus expenses minus drawings plus what ma? Liabilities. Liabilities means outside or inside ma? Outside liabilities. Okay na? So the same equation how they are writing ma? Asset expense minus expenses, if it bring to the left hand side means what will be? Plus. So asset plus expenses plus drawings equal to capital plus revenue plus liabilities. Like that they are representing. Are you getting the point? So this is the total derivation. This is total derivation. Are you getting? So in each and every transaction happening, the equation must be equal. The equation must be equal. I will take certain examples. Are you getting the point? These all the things are there in your book or not there? Is there in your book? I am explaining, that's all. What is the normal equation? Asset equal to equity plus liabilities. How the equity they are writing ma? Capital plus net profit minus drawings. What is the meaning of net profit? Revenue minus expenses. So totally they are writing like that. I am taking one example. What is that example, sir? It is appearing. Okay na, fine. That color is appearing. Owner started business with cash of rupees 10 lakhs. With cash of rupees how much amma? 10 lakhs. Now here we are getting a 2 outcomes. How many outcomes? 2 outcomes. Capital and cash. Okay, capital is increasing, cash is also increasing. Capital is increasing, cash. What is the accounting equation, ma? Asset equal to equity plus liabilities. This equation must be equal or must not be equal? Must be equal. What is the asset here? Cash. What is the asset here, ma? Cash. So cash means asset. Cash means what, ma? Asset. So here 10 lakh increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So there is any changes in the equity? There is no changes. There is a changes. Capital increases or decreases? Increases. So here also how much increases? 10 lakhs increases plus liability 0. The total equation satisfied or not satisfied? Satisfied. Okay na? If left hand side increases means right hand side also increases. Okay na? Or otherwise how it will be, sir? For example, imagine one asset increases means what should be happen, sir? Either equity should increase or either liability should increase, or otherwise another asset value should be decreases. Another asset value should be decreases. Then only the equation will be satisfied. Are you getting the point? If the asset increases means what should be happen, ma? Either equity or liability should increase or asset will be decreases. Then only the equation will be satisfied. Otherwise the equation will be satisfied or will not be satisfied. Imagine now there is another concept. For example, if the equity increases, asset should be increases or decreases? Increases, but another equity should be decreases or liability should be increases or decreases? Why should be అది కూడా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే ఎలాగరా? What is the concept means? What first equity increases ra? First equity increases. This equation should be satisfied. This equation should be satisfied means what, ma? LHS should be equal to RHS. Or imagine capital 10 lakh increases. Capital 10 lakh increases. Now in order to satisfy this equation, this is RHS, LHS. RHS. RHS increases means LHS should also increases. But same side we are having how many points? 2 points. First one equity, second one liability. Same side means decrease. Same side means what they will do, ma? Increase. అంటే ఇక్కడ asset లో changes ఏం లేదు. There is no changes in the asset. Now what should be happen? Either equity should increase or decrease. Already equity increased. Now liability should decrease. Or another equity should be decreases. రెండిట్లో ఏదో ఒకటి జరగాలి. అర్థమైందా? Same side means decrease. Opposite side means increase. If it is increases, are you getting the point or not getting a point? What I am saying is, for example, now I will say another example. If the liability increases, asset should be increase or decrease? Liability increases means RHS increases or decreases? RHS increases means LHS should also increase. This is a case one. Or what should be happen? If the RHS is not doing anything, LHS is not doing anything means the same side equity should decrease or liability should decrease. Equity should decrease or liability should decrease. I will say another point. For example, if the liability decreases means asset. If the asset increases, both are equal or unequal? Equal avala, unequal avala? Equal should be happen, unequal should be happen. Equal. Equal means RHS decreasing, LHS decreases means asset should decrease or increase? Decrease. Man, why you will say increase? Should happen like this. Or what is another option? Equity should increase or liability should increase. Are you getting the point? I will say another example. What is another example, sir? If the equity decreases, asset should decrease or equity increases or liability increases. Super. That thing only I am saying. I will say another example. What is the next one? If the asset decreases, equity decreases or liability decreases or asset increases. So this is how the equation approach will be carrying on. So this is the overall information. For example, we are paying the salaries. We are paying the salaries. How will the equation will be equal? Paying the salary means cash balance will be decreases. Cash balance will be decreases. Expenses will be presented in where? Equity. Equity will automatically increases or decreases, sir. Why it is decreasing? We are doing the minus. We are doing what? Capital minus expenses or plus expenses, sir? Minus. So at that point of time, equity decreases. So asset decreases, equity decreases. For example, we are receiving commission. We are receiving commission means cash balance will be increases, automatically equity will also be increases. Why ma? Revenue plus or revenue minus? Equity, capital plus revenue. Capital plus revenue means equity will also be increases. So like that. We are purchasing the asset on a credit. We are purchasing asset on credit. At that point of time, liability increases, asset also increases. Equation tallied or not tallied? We are repaying the liability. We are repaying the liability. Liability decreases, asset also decreases. So like that the equation approach will be applicable. Sir, opposite side means if LHS increases means RHS should increase or LHS should decrease. Okay na? If LHS increases means RHS should increase or LHS should decrease. Same side means opposite. Opposite side means same. Okay na? Direct proportion, inverse proportion will be there na. Okay na? Opposite side means what ma? Direct proportion. Same side means inverse proportion. Direct means what ma? Increase means increase, decrease means decrease. Same side means increases means decreases, decreases means increases. Are you getting the point? This is how that overall accounting equation approach will be carrying on. Okay na? If you are having any doubts, I will explain tomorrow class once again. So is there any doubts up to here? So totally in the today's class we have discussed about the income account, expenses account, and we have totally completed the discussion of basics, and we have totally completed the discussion of double entry system. How many approaches we are having? 3 approaches. Traditional approach already you know, so that I am not discussing. I have discussed the modern approach, and I have discussed the accounting equation approach also. Same side means direct or inverse? Inverse. Opposite side means direct. The increases means increases, decreases means decreases. Same side means increases means decreases, decreases means increases. What is the accounting equation? Asset equal to equity plus liability. That equity they are going to write how capital plus net profit minus drawings. Or net profit is equal to revenue minus expenses. So what is the total overall equation? Asset equal to capital plus revenue minus expenses minus drawings plus liabilities. So that equation they are recording like asset plus expenses plus drawings equal to capital plus revenue plus liabilities. So this is the overall equation. They may ask you what ma this accounting equation in the MCQs. They will ask the accounting equation. Choose one of the correct answer and they will give 3 wrong answers and they will give 1 correct answer. So we need to identify the correct accounting equation. Are you getting the point? So this is how I completed 2 chapters related to our book, the basics and the double entry system. In the next class we are going to discuss which topic? The journal, ledger and subsidiary books. Okay now. After journal, ledger, trial balance only we will discuss. Okay na. So thank you. Have a nice day.